What's up, everybody? It's your boy Dez, aka MK, doing a second video, companion to my first, which was an unboxing of the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Heroclix set. Today was the official release day for it. I hope everybody pulled something awesome. I appreciate everyone who watched my unboxing video. It got way more views than I was expecting, so I certainly appreciate that. I took a lot of the feedback. A lot of people were saying they hadn't gotten a chance really to see the figures in the video. So I took all that feedback, a lot of things that people were saying, and like I said, I wanted to do a follow-up to show off the pieces more and kind of talk about the dials. This will be a quick video. I'm not going to focus too much on the pieces that WizKid had already gone through on their website. So without further ado, the first piece I wanted to show off, Leatherhead. If you haven't gotten this figure yet, if you don't have him in hand, it's a beautiful sculpt. You can see the detail on his back. I had read his trait yesterday in which he works with Michelangelo, but he has another power that I didn't go over. It's called Death Roll. Essentially, he gets a power action to move 3 squares using improved movement, ignore characters. After actions resolve, attack each target opposing character occupying or adjacent to those squares, and hit characters are dealt 2 damage and knocked back 2 squares. So it's going to be a great way to just bust up a cluster of people. Really looking forward to playing this guy. Even though I don't remember him too much from the cartoons, I do remember his Cajun accent. Again, this is a different version of the character, but again, look at that. That's really good. So this is the first figure I wanted to show off. Next, Slash another figure I was really excited to see that I had pulled. Looking through the other unboxing videos or looking on HC Realms, it looks like the distribution was very similar to what I had done. Some people did get 2 super rares where I had gotten the 1. It seems like 2 super rares was a little more common in each box. But I did manage to get all the commons. I'm short 1 uncommon. I have 1 of the 5 super rares. And in terms of the rares, I believe I'm off only a couple, honestly. I mean, so buying 1 box, I was very satisfied with. Looking at Slash, you can see again the detail in his shoulders and his claws, the details in his shell, which is really good. That kind of plays into his defense ability. He can use invulnerability when Slash takes damage from an opponent's close attack. After action resolve, deal that character 1 penetrating damage. So it's kind of like a poor man's Mystics. And I like, again, that they're using the new terminology where it just says when he takes damage from a close attack, close combat actions, I think that terminology is going to be going forward. But again, just really good sculpt, really good top dial. I think I kind of showed this yesterday with the 9, the 12, blades throughout the whole dial. Really good figure. And the cool thing, too, something that I was noticing, a lot of the figures, if they're stereotypically your good guys, they have the TMNT ally. And if they're typically your bad guys, they have the TMNT villains keywords. So you don't necessarily have to just play the Turtles to have a theme team. You don't necessarily have to play. You could really, I was worried. I got all these foot soldiers, didn't get a Shredder or a Krang, but Rat King, Baxter Stockman, even Slash, who has the ally and the villain keyword. I can make a team with just all the villains and it's still a theme team. Again, these were my 2 rares. You can see the color is really great, especially on Mikey. It's really, really well done in terms of the sculpts, which have gotten so much better over the years. Someone I didn't give much attention to yesterday, Baxter Stockman. Actually, he's pretty good. In terms of his first trait, which I kind of ignored, when a friendly character named Mouser is KO'd by an opponent's attack, roll a d6. On a 4 to 6, you place another Mouser from outside the game into the game, which is really good. I mean, the foot soldiers, the Ultron figures I mentioned before. There's a lot of figures nowadays, when they die, they just keep coming back. So it's good if you manage to get a bunch of Mousers. You'll have Baxter Stockman here just churning them out. Considering they're only 2 clicks deep, they'll probably be dying pretty easily. Which kind of brings me to another figure. So I pulled the Swarm yesterday. Was really excited when I got this piece. I didn't realize it was in the set. The regular Mouser, 20 points, 1 damage with the sidestep. And then the Mouser Swarm is 60 points with the 1 damage. But the cool thing is, it has a stop click every even number. So that was actually click 2. This is your click 1 here. So clicks 2, 4, and 6, you'll be stopping on those clicks. It's really a swarm. It's going to take a while to get through what's supposed to be 3 mousers here. So the regular mousers, 2 clicks. The swarm, 6 clicks. With essentially you having to stop every other click. Going to be a really cool combination to play these 2 together. Something else I wanted to show. This guy, Fugitoid. So, looks way better than I had expected. According to the card, it looks like he's supposed to have a blackish color for his paint. But, you know, we got this shiny gold or maybe silverish robot. The cool thing, too, with the turtles, of course, they're going to get shot from afar. They're ninjas without stealth, and they're only 5 clicks deep. Well, the good thing is, Fugitoid has shape change as a trait that he succeeds on a 4 to a 6, so he's very hard to hit. And then his defense power is that he can use toughness, but when he's targeted by a range attack, he can use impervious instead. So, you got a bunch of turtles that you need not to get shot at. This guy can phase for 12. He has precision strike and a 3 damage, so he's not too shabby himself. But you have him come up first. You have Raphael come up behind him. They have to shoot at the Fugitoid. I'm totally okay with that. If they miss next turn, Raph charges in with his penetrating sai. You know, it's a good way to keep your guys from getting too hurt early on. Because, of course, we all know it's better to have some shooters than a bunch of guys who have to get up in your face to attack. Especially guys who don't have stealth. So, speaking of the turtles, which I think is pretty awesome, they all have this trait that's called fighting through the swarms. And I like the way that it's supposed to work. I guess I'll have to play an actual game to see how it does work. But fighting through the swarms. When Raphael hits an opposing character, after action resolve, you may place him in any square adjacent to that character. So what you have here is a bunch of characters. Let's say you have your foot soldier. First guy comes in, hits him, jumps over his back. Next guy charges in, hits him, jumps over his back. At this point, you know, I'm sure he'll be on his last click. Donnie hits him, jumps over him. And then you move on to the next guy. You know, and in the way that it's supposed to work, the way I'm hoping it works, you're fighting a bunch of mousers, you're fighting a bunch of foot soldiers, you're just hitting them and making your way from one end to the other. Kind of like the animated movie. If you've seen the 4th Turtles movie, the animated one, you know, at the end when they're going to the museum, they're just going through waves and waves of foot soldiers. I think that's kind of what they're trying to replicate there. Rat King was my super rare. Again, a lot of its information was on the Heroclix website. But again, sculpt just really good. And besides him, I did want to look at Nobody. Nobody, I was surprised. Again, no idea who he was. But looking at his card, so he has enhanced movement, ignores elevated terrain with his grappling hook. He has a trait called Shadowy Avenger. Nobody can use stealth. Nobody can't be targeted by an opposing character if he's adjacent to a wall. So he kind of has a built-in hand ATA. I don't know why I really like the fact that the first part of his trait is nobody can use stealth. I'm definitely going to make that joke while I'm playing the game because I know I'm going to play some people who use a lot of stealth. Besides that, he also had Cape in Your Eyes as an attack move. Cape in Your Eyes, give nobody a power action and choose an adjacent opposing character. That character can't make an attack during its next turn. It's a great way to shut down a lot of characters, especially if you're fighting just a 300-point tent pole. Put this guy next to him, TK him out maybe. Lock him down so they can't attack you. Next turn, I'd even push him to do that again because he keeps that special for his first 3 clicks. Not too shabby on his own. Looks like he's going to be a good close combat guy. But that's Nobody. And that's the gist of what I wanted to show you guys. And then, of course, we got the foot soldiers. All the foot soldiers look, pretty cool. You got your Kama. You got your Nunchuck. You got your Katana. You got your bow staff, who probably is my favorite looking one. Let's put him in the front here. And you got your Sai guy, who was used in my example. So, all your foot soldiers are there. Something that's pretty cool that I noticed too, the turtles by themselves, though really good, they work great once you have someone like a Master Splinter, who has as a trait Empower, and if he's adjacent to a character with the TMNT keyword, they get +1 to their damage as well. I mean, I'm sorry, to their attack as well. So he's giving you a +1 damage, +1 attack. A lot of these guys already start out pretty high with 11 attacks. And Leonardo in this case has a 2 damage. So you're looking at a 12 for 3 as long as he's next to Splinter. Take someone like Raphael, who also would be a 12 for 3. Throw in Casey Jones, who has a unique modifier. If he's next to Raphael, they both get +1 to their attack. So you're giving Raphael a +2 to his attack and a +1 to damage. I mean, that's pretty deadly if you're able to pull that off. April O'Neil, who I didn't pull, does have something similar to that. Again, Leatherhead is the Michelangelo partner of the group, giving him the same type of bonus if they're adjacent. And again, you could play this whole team right here. We're looking at 100 points, 160, 200. I think this is about 230, give or take. Throw in a couple more turns. I mean, for a 500-point game, which is what we usually play, you could play a lot of figures in a 300-point game as well. So, you know, these were the figures that I kind of wanted to show off. If there's any other figures that you wanted to see maybe the cards for, if you wanted to, I don't know, see more of the dials, anything you want to know about these figures, just let me know. But I just did this video so you guys can kind of see the detail and a lot of the sculpts. I'll kind of do my favorites here. Besides that, of course, my name was Dez. We're going to be doing much more videos, some Heroclix related, some not. But besides that, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. And I do thank you very much for checking out my video. Peace!